ice. And the opening is hard to see at first, but it's there.
Straight ahead?
Straight ahead.
Yes.
I think we should.
Start walking towards it.
Okay. I'm assuming everybody else?
Yeah.
We're no longer on the bridge, right?
Correct.
Okay, so let's go ahead and untie first. Well, I mean, I'm assuming you want to save your rope.
I'm not. No, I don't give a shit. I'm cutting it.
Stuff running towards us. So
A couple steps.
That's fair.
I feel like I'll probably find more rope along.
Suddenly, you see in front of you the head of a skeleton start to peek its head as it starts to walk towards you. And then another one. And then another one.
If you want to.
They're 20 feet away from you at the edge of the water. Just steadily walking towards you. As more and more come out of the water.
my abilities.
How far is each one from each other?
What's that?
How far are they like from each other? Are they all like in the 15-foot cone?
They are spread out across the width of the water, and there's 1, 2, 1, 4, another 2 just starting to peek up as the rest are coming out of the water. 10, 15.
We're going down the.
Yep.
Yep, we're getting the fuck up out. Cover our flank with fireball. Cover our backs with fireball, and then.
I'll take up the rear.
Yeah, he'll take up the rear with fire.
Are you all still tied together?
No.
No, I already split
I
this
don't
shit.
actually have anything sharp, so I
I'm
guess
not.
I just have a lot of rope hanging off.
No,
me.
you have the dagger.
Did you already throw
I
your
threw
dagger?
it.
I threw it.
Poorly.
I threw it.
Wait.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
threw
stop.
it poorly.
I mean, I'll throw you another
once-
dagger.
No, once our stuff's near me, I'm gonna grab the rope and cut it
Thank you.
off of him.
I'm in the back with the art.
Let's go
I
back
think-
there with you guys.
I think for now that's as good as we can be right now.
Yeah.
All right. Moving off into the passage. As you round the corner on the passage, it's anywhere from 10 to 12 feet wide. Narrows at some sections as you see prism-like sections of ice that jut out from different areas. Some sections threaten to narrow down to less than 5 feet. You have to go single file through certain areas.
Right.
Before 20 feet in, it's confusing. There's just facets of ice that every now and then you'll think for sure that the passage just continues straight forward, just to hit a wall and have to slide your hand along before you finally realize that the pathway actually goes off in a different direction.
Lexi, use your staff to help get us through this.
Using the staff, it looks like a jumble of square corners and sharp edges. There's not a passage per se to follow through this. And you can still see the section of cavern behind you for about 50 feet. But in this section, it's a jumble of lines. It looks like
Like cracked glass almost.
It looks like cracked glass. There's no rhyme or reason to this enough to really make out a passage here.
Question. On her staff, can we see where it would end?
Where this section of
Yeah, like
ice
if
would
we went
end?
through it all, where would it come
No.
out at?
It just appears to continue on in the direction that you were heading.
Question number 2. How thick does it look, the ice?
As thick as the plane is.
So
It doesn't, it's not like sheets of ice, it's just ice.
Skeletons, man, unless there's a fucking lot of them, which there might be.
We could.
In this narrow section, you can hear a clattering behind you.
set up an ambush
a couple
as they
of
come in.
things specifically to fuck up skeletons that I could use, but it's limited. We need to pick a good path. Try to find a way through this.
And
We
do
find
you
a
want
way
to
through it,
narrow?
well, if we find a way through this and you have a clear line of sight, and if you throw a fire, then it could potentially melt the passageway.
I was thinking that it looks like this ice is pretty thick. I could make a flaming sphere, try to press it through, use the old Spear of Annihilation to dig a hole trick, but I don't think it's going to work
No.
too well.
Fair enough. Well, no. I'm talking about sealing it behind us so they can't get to us.
Mm-hmm.
Or we could.
You could melt it and let it freeze over.
I like that idea.
If you cast Fireball, once we get out of this, I'll use Ray of Frost to freeze the water and try to at least make a wall to be able to...
I might be able to just throw a warhammer at the ceiling right there and collapse it back.
I think what's more reliable would be fire. No offense, but yeah, fire on basically in like frozen cavern.
In the meantime, let's push through.
Yeah, definitely so.
So we're going, I guess, to follow the wall to try and find a way through this.
Okay. Who's in the front?
Balok and I.
All right. Who's taking front point when it narrows down to 5 feet at different points?
He is.
All right. I need you to make an intelligence check.
Oh,
So it should have been you.
it should have been me.
Alright.
I think he's got like a negative something.
Got 0 intelligence.
Oh.
7.
All right.
Can you guidance him for that or anything?
Feeling forward,
The wrong person is
I
in the
know. I
front.
was just hoping.
your hand slides along one side, and you take the opening, walking through. Following along further, you can feel sections as you're going along, taking the first opening that your hands find every single time.
Don't worry, follow me, buddy.
Do we notice that it kind of feels like we're going into a circle?
Make a survival check.
I'm just gonna drop caltrops from behind us just because I feel like it.
Okay, so you're pre-gaming the caltrops.
Pre-gaming?
Make an intelligence check.
Okay, 16.
A 16 on a survival check.
Yeah.
You're getting a suspicion that there's something weird with the facets. The visibility here it's confusing.
Mm.
You can't quite put your finger on it, but you feel like something's wrong.
Okay, Balok, let me lead. So, I'll take the lead.
Intelligence check.
I was not dropping them to like metagame or anything like that, just because like throw them behind me, like fuck you guys.
Cool.
I think you should have pretty good initiative.
Okay, 14.
All right.
5.
You have no clue. You're following along. You're following the group.
So I was throwing caltrops behind me.
Right.
Well, that doesn't require a roll, dude.
So why'd you
Well,
make
it does
me
if
roll?
you're trying to.
Oh.
It does if you're trying to mark the trail.
No, I was not.
He's
For the
trying to.
skeletons.
He's trying to.
He's
I'm
literally just...
slowing them down.
We're
I'm slowing
still-
down. Yeah.
He's banana peeling.
That's
right.
I have no idea. My character with his intelligence where it is has no idea what the path is. I'm slowing them down behind me.
So
Okay.
If we have to retreat,
Skeleton
we're
turns.
fucking yourselves
Drop your
over.
caltrops. All right. What was your roll?
14.
14.
And James like, you feel until you find an opening.
You come to the next section, and you can feel your hands fall through on one section, and you pause for a second, feeling along, and there's 3 separate pathways on where you're going:
Mm-hmm.
left, center, and right.
Okay.
One pathway smells of death.
I'm down to you. Ooh, lighting down here.
What's that?
What's the lighting down here?
The lighting is currently heading towards the dim side. It appears that the further away from the cavern that you get, the less light you have in this area.
I'm gonna ask.
It's
what-
not dim yet. You're still in what would be considered bright light, but it has been noticeably dimming slightly.
I'm gonna go ahead and ask Lexi to go ahead and come up to the front with me and pull up
I'm
her,
so
pull up
tired.
her map.
Sorry, I am so tired.
Go ahead and pull up your map. Let's see where we can see where these paths lead off to.
Okay. Pulling open the map, and the whole entire area around you still looks like facets of broken glass. There's no direct signs of the pathway per se.
Can I look with my detect magic sight if there's any place that seems better?
There's a general aura of magic that still passes through all of this ice, and it is all still flowing in the same direction that it was flowing before. That direction appears to go off to the left-hand side, not quite following the pathway on that side, but just slightly further left of where that pathway goes.
What
I think for now we should take the left-hand path.
what does my hilt look like?
Your what?
It's still the same as it was before. There's a little glimmer of blue.
Can I put light on myself just to see if it changes anything in the environment?
A light spell?
Yep.
Certainly.
Blinds all of us.
From behind you, you see as R casts light, and in the flash, as the light appears, there's a jag through the ice, almost as if the light itself is shooting the shadows off in a direction. You can see in that instant flash of light 3 separate jags. This one off to the left-hand side that you were just about to go down seems to curl around on itself.
Ah.
The one in the center seems to continue, and the right one seems to go further down into the ground.
I think now we should take the center one. Thank you for the light.
Center.
Center.
Same.
Center.
You can jump in.
So we'll
Center,
Keep,
go
we'll
back.
keep going with me leading, I guess.
Okay? After that initial flash of light, the shadow pathway seemed to stabilize into just a generalized look of crystal around you. Heading down the pathway, you can feel about 30 feet further in, weaving your way in and out, another set of 4 separate pathways. There's no shadow path here, as the light that he cast just seems to be permeating the entire area.
I turn my light off.
All right. With the light out now, the area that you are currently in is considered dim light.
Oh, he's clapping back on.
With the flash of light, you see 4 separate shadow jags that disappear into the crystals, the crystalline ice. You see as the one all the way to the left-hand side starts to curl back before continuing on in a straight line, fairly close to where you could see the magic flowing, as you watch as the other 3 seem to continue on for a while and meander off in other directions.
Left-hand path.
Definitely.
We go.
Okay.
Do you want to clap off and let us look ahead real quick?
Sure.
Okay. What are you looking for?
Anything, everything.
Okay. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Do you think you want us to be together?
I would just be running over. The only thing I might do differently would be if we're going to be traveling at one time, I'd pull out my right here.
I was just going to try to sneak ahead with you and scout.
I think what is currently working for us now is what we've been doing.
Let's keep
Yeah,
going then,
I
never
don't-
mind.
I don't want to risk running into something.
Please.
Let's wait till we get to the next.
Yeah.
Yeah,
spot.
the clap on seems to be working pretty well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Dim light's different.
No, I can only sneak at midnight.
I know, so the dim light is fine.
In the narrow confines, you can still hear a faint clattering from the skeletons, but it seems that with the new information that you have, you seem to be staying further ahead of them and perhaps gaining a little bit of distance.
Let's try Try to fuck them up.
That's not. Because we don't know what they got. We don't know what they can do.
And we don't know exactly how many there are.
Exactly.
How many is the part that worries me?
Yeah, because if there's a lot, there's a fucking lot. Like, they might not be very strong. They might be resistant to fuck all everything.
You and I might be able to hit multiple ones still.
And we don't know what else is in there.
I can
So
burn a
skeletons
field of
started to come
skeletons
out. What
twice.
other stuff
Twice. I can do it twice, but all I got's twice.
Fair enough.
All right. Continuing down the left-hand pathway, as you all go single file at this point, following along, certain sections of it catching on your hip as you pass by that you didn't realize a part was just kind of sticking out.
A few enemy in the face.
Reaching about 150 yards down this jagged crack through the ice, suddenly the walls disappear in front of you. You can't really see, but waving your hands in front of you, this appears to be a chamber of some kind. Through your vision, it still looks like you're in a hallway, just from the optical illusion of the crystals themselves and how they place themselves. But there's just a chamber.
Okay. Can you turn on your light real quick?
Rimpu!
All right. As you turn the light spell on, you watch as there's 100, 1,000 flashes of light through this chamber. Then all of a sudden the light just starts pulling in and pulling in and pulling in into the crystalline glass as you watch as 5 separate points of radiance start to take the shape of vague incorporeal humanoids. And when we come back, I'll need you to roll initiative.
Oh my fuck.
Can anyone? I was
Are
already
we
like.
taking a break or ending?
Oh.
Oh, we'll come
Take your
back.
break.
May I speak as a free action at the very beginning of this?